Well, the reality is that the Prime Minister personally decided to appoint Lord Mandelson as the ambassador to the United States, and in so doing, he has humiliated and embarrassed this nation on the international stage, because this Lord Mandelson is someone who described himself as the best pal of a paedophile, someone who advised that paedophile, when in prison, to use that time in prison as an opportunity. Truly shocking. And let's look at the judgment of the Prime Minister. We know now that he received a 2-page document as he made the personal decision to appoint Lord Mandelson, outlining some of his links to the paedophile. And yet he carried on with that decision to appoint him. So he made that appointment in that knowledge. That is woefully, woefully incompetent judgment. He then made the judgment last week in the knowledge that there was a cache of emails about Lord Mandelson's links to this paedophile. He made the judgment as a lawyer who supposedly is forensic, not to ask the questions about what was in the emails. That seems to me an absolute failure of judgment. And then he made the judgment to come to this House and say that he had confidence in the man over whom he knew there was a cache of emails that he thought it was inappropriate to ask the detail about. The whole point of lawyers and barristers is they do that DD, that diligence. But no, not our Prime Minister. Even more significantly, the Prime Minister said that full due process had been followed during the appointment. We now learn that this is not the case, because actually the due process was carried out after the decision by the Prime Minister to appoint Lord Mandelson and after it had been announced to the world at large. And therefore, those two things cannot be true. And for that reason, I regrettably conclude personally that the Prime Minister inadvertently misled this House of Commons and the British people. And I think, therefore, that this Prime Minister needs to come to the House and give absolute clarity on what he knew, when, why he made those decisions, and why he chose not to ask the detailed forensic investigations at the appropriate time.